Margaret Elaine Milton May.
Okay. Now, what's your family affiliation?
I'm the daughter of the youngest son. Daughter of the youngest son of
James T.
Yeah, James T.
And Flora.
Yeah.
And what was his son? What was his name?
Philip.
Your father's name was Philip.
Okay.
And who did you marry?
Glenn May, Wilbur Glenn May.
Was he from around here?
Yes, he was.
Okay. When did you marry Glenn?
In 1950.
1950?
December of 1950.
Oh. And how long were you married?
59 years.
How many children did you have?
3.
And what can you tell us about your family?
Well, I have 3 children. The oldest is Glenda. And then I have a son named Tim and one named Steve. And I have one grandson and 2 granddaughters.
Okay. What else? What can you tell us about your father? What do you remember about your father?
Well, he passed away and I don't know. Let's see. I don't remember exactly. Let's see. Steve, my youngest son, was about 5 years old, 6 years old, and I guess it was in 1966 that he passed in Greenville, Alabama.
What else can you tell us about your father?
Well, he didn't live. He left and went somewhere else, and I don't know where, and lived for several years. But he came back about 2 years before he passed. He was around St. Louis.
So he left you and your mother?
Yeah. I have 2 brothers.
Okay. In St. Louis? In St. Louis?
No. I had 2 brothers.
Yeah.
Well, he had 3 children.
Okay.
And one was Alan Milton. And the other one was, what did I say? Did I say Alan?
Yes.
No, Alan is Billy's son. His daddy, they called him Billy Milton. And I know you know him.
Yes, I remember Billy.
And the other one was Lloyd. And Billy's deceased, and Lloyd lives in Mobile.
That's Philip Lloyd, right?
Philip Lloyd.
Okay, he was here in 2016 on that videotape.
Yeah.
So that's your brother?
That's my brother.
Okay. So you don't remember that much about your father?
Well, I do in my younger years, but I think he got into air conditioning and refrigeration, and he worked around St. Louis. But that's all I can tell you.
Okay.
But he farmed some, and in the earlier years, and we lived in Montgomery at times. I can't tell you where. I could go to it, but can't tell you the street number or anything. But I always loved Anina's girls. Sarah, your mother. She was real good to me. And Mildred. Well, in fact, all of them. We were close to them.
I knew that. I could see that.
But Mother passed away in 2002, I think.
And who was your mother?
Velma.
Velma, what was your maiden name?
Walker.
Velma Walker.
Okay. Yeah.
And the Walkers were from around here?
They were. And her father was Beverly Walker. But and I moved away from here in 1953 or 1954. I went to Virginia and stayed 2 years and moved to Florida at that time in 1956 or 7. And then we moved to Valparaiso, Florida. And we've been there most of the time, except we did move to Prattville for about 10 years.
I'm looking for this lady. I'm just going to wait for you to be through.
I think we're about done. Anything else you want to add?
No, I guess I've had an uneventful life for the most part. I've had a good life.
Well, it's not quite over yet.
No, it's not, but it's
We
taking...
were afraid you weren't going to be here.
Well, I didn't have to kind of wait till I can see who's going to take me.
That's kind of what we heard. We were talking to Vivian.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Yeah, but since Glenda's moved back to Alabama,
You should get the stool and scoot over there so you can talk to her.
since Glenda has moved back to Alabama, she's it's a little over 100 miles, and she comes pretty often. And Steve is in Hoover,
Alabama.
around Birmingham.
I haven't heard that one. So Birmingham.
Mm-hmm. He works in Birmingham with Books A
Okay.
Million.
Pretty awesome.
And Tim is in Dothan.
Okay.
And he has been practically ever since he's been married, because his wife was raised in Dothan.
Okay.
And they lived in Montgomery for just a little while, and then they went to Dothan.
And I think Vivian told us that too, that
Mhm.
he was there.
Yeah.
Because she was saying one of the boys was there.
Yeah, Tim.
So, very good.
But it's nice that Glenda's moved back closer.
Mhm.
100 miles versus 1,000 miles is pretty good.
That's a short trip, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what was your favorite memory from around here?
I don't know. I had a lot of them. We used to play her in that out there. There was a kind of a terrace, like they used to have in the fields. We built toad frog houses up and down that place. And I remember it was Billy and James and Buster. And they used to have a mulberry tree right up there. We went out there one day and we smeared that all over ourselves.
Kids don't do that anymore.
No.
They don't play in the dirt anymore.
No, but we sure did. We sure did. We spent a lot of time out there in that sand bed.
What do you remember about your father's family? You don't remember much about Philip, but what about the rest of them?
Well, I remember a lot about my daddy's family.
What about your grandfather, James T.
Yeah.
in Florida?
Yeah, I remember some about him. He was quite a character, I think. But he always rode in the back of the wagon with his feet hanging off. Somebody else was driving, but I remember that about him, and I remember him here in this bedroom over here. He had a big rocking chair, and of course there was a fireplace, and that was where he sat.
That was his spot.
That was his spot. And when he would get a little bit of toddy in him, he'd always say, "Margaret, when you get married and I can't come, kill the old Dominica rooster and save me some." I remember that so well. Yeah, and Grandma, she was crippled. And I don't really know. I've heard, Mother has told me she broke her hip, but it was before I came along, so she was kind of crippled. And she didn't care for you having anything here, to eat, but she wanted you to ask for it. And I used to get off the school bus out there, and I think I was in the first grade, second grade. So she kept her cookies in a great big old cheese whipped cheese thing. And I came in the kitchen that day and I saw that something had been put in it. And I had my hand over there to get me a cookie.
Oops.
And it was sweet potatoes in there. And I took off. I got over there behind a tree, and I didn't like that sweet potato. I didn't like white sweet potatoes. So I got rid of that, and she never did know that.
Oh, she knew.
I was about to say, I bet she knew. You just think she didn't.
Yeah, but, to eat at Grandma's house, she had that big old table in the kitchen, and it was filled up. Just about every meal.
What kind of personalities were there? Was she sweet and quiet, or was she?
She was quiet.
Was she quiet?
Yeah. She never did. I used to like to gnaw on a chicken bone or just a ham bone or something. So we were in there. I went in there and I said, "Oh, there's a bone." Daddy told me I wasn't going to have it. Said I couldn't have it. Grandpa just got up from the end of the table and went over there and got that bone. But anyway, Daddy must shut me up in this room over here. And they let me out, and she put that bone over back on my plate. Daddy didn't say a word.
Gotta love grandparents,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah, they was real sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Grandpa, he used his cane juice, and he made his brew out
Try
of it.
not to fiddle with the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry, I never forgot it. Anyway, he always had some on hand, and he was sitting in the crib with his feet hanging over, and Billy walked up to him and says, "Grandpa, can I have a drink of whiskey?" And he reached over and got a gallon of syrup and said, "Here, son, go home."
How old do you think Billy was then?
Not very
Not
old.
very old.
Probably wasn't even 6 years old. He just knew what Grandpa was doing out there.
My grandmother told me, Ina, told me that her father used to make rum. Now they grow a lot of cane around here, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
And sugar cane is what you make rum with.
Yeah, it could have been rum. I don't know, but that's what he always. He had a syrup mill out there, and he made his own juice, and then they cooked it out there. And
Oh yeah, so they were saving a little for rum,
yeah.
distilling a little rum.
It
Just a
was.
little.
It was one of those kind that, of course, it was pulled by mules, and they put that cane in there, and the mule would go around, that would get the juice out, and it'd go in a great big old vat, and then they cooked it.
Well, see, you didn't think you remembered much. I told you remembered more than you realized.
That's exactly right.
Just
Yeah.
gotta ask the right questions.
Yeah. But we had a pretty good childhood here.
Buster thought you and Billy were just his brother and sister. You know that.
I felt that way about
Yeah,
Buster too.
so,
yeah.
I guess the first time I ever saw Dad cry, it was happy tears. But when I got married,
Mm-hmm.
and Billy and Vivian decided the morning before, they're like, I really would like to be at that wedding, and we just did. And they're like, well, why aren't we there? And they got on the road and headed out to Texas.
Yeah.
Didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell the kids. Didn't tell us. And knocks on the door and opens the door. And I think it's probably the one time in my life I've been speechless.
Yeah.
And I was like 26, 27.
Well,
when I got married, so.
Buster and Billy, there was just 3 days difference in their ages.
Well, Dad thought I didn't know who was at the door, but I just couldn't. I was like, oh my gosh,
Uh-huh.
And he walks up, and he just, tears came to his eyes, and he just because Billy was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after, what was Buster's favorite football team out in Texas?
Aggies.
Yeah.
Texas Aggies, because my brother and myself went there.
Well, a year after he died, Billy watched that. He said, "I watched that because of Buster."
That's diligence. They weren't very good then. They haven't
Well,
been
but
very good since early
he watched
80s.
them. He said that was in memory of Buster.
Yep, that was, and man, he got into it. I would never. We always watched professional ball because we were in Dallas, so we watched the Dallas Cowboys. But I mean, you thought his blood was maroon as soon as Jay and I got down there. He loved it. So it was.
Well,
he really got into the traditions. So,
but,
and neither one of his grandbabies are going to A&M. No, ma'am. So.
But yeah, Billy and Buster was always really close.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They used to pal around together, no telling what they got into.
I was saying they probably got in a lot of trouble together.
Probably.
So, and he was older than you or younger?
Who?
Billy.
He was younger.
He was younger, okay.
20 months younger.
Okay. I was thinking y'all were close, but I couldn't remember which one.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Glenda's about 6 years older than Tim. But I don't know, she lives close by now, and I told her the other day, I said, "You're so sweet to me." I said, "You're just a sweet girl." She says, "Well, I got it from my sweet mama."
I tell everybody, if I could just live up to my mother, live up to how sweet and nice and loving she is, I'd be a good person.
She's a sweet person.
She is.
She is.
She is. So.
But,
well, you're one of the last, if not the last person to remember your grandparents.
really?
Mm-hmm.
But I can just see them. I can see Grandpa sitting in that rocking chair, and Grandma, she always had help. And when they got through in the kitchen, she would sit out on that porch up against the wall of that room there, right on the edge. And that's where she always sat. Yeah, that's some fun.
That porch has seen a lot of activity.
Mm-hmm.
Grown up a lot of people.
Yeah, it has.
I remember swinging on it when we were little. Talking about the memories from around here.
Mm-hmm.
You had to swing on the swing, and you had to go out by the well.
Yeah.
And mess around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the first places my daughter goes when we get here is go check out the well. So.
Well, I was going to go over and visit with you, and he snared me.
Well,
he's good at that. Thank goodness.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed going to Aunt Einer's house, too. And as I already told you, I got along really well with Sarah and Mildred. And me and Faye and I were about the same age, so of course Edna was a little bit younger. And I remember Ray, and I remember Austin too. When we lived in Virginia many years ago, Glenn and I, when he finished college, Austin was stationed over at the naval base in Norfolk. And it was after he and his wife got a divorce, his first wife. And he carried us over, and we went and visited his ship. But anyway, he came over. I had Tim up there, and he came over, and he made Tim's first bottle. He really made himself useful. But I do remember that about him. And I think it did him a lot of good, really.
Having family there.
Yeah, being able to come over there at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was Ray and Faye.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Twins.
Okay. And I remember Faye.
Yeah. Ray died. I don't know what year he died. But
What year did your mama die?
in 92. In
92. Okay.
92.
So that was before Daddy passed away.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I couldn't remember. Because that was several years before Daddy passed.
Mm-hmm.
Because we went to the nursing home not long before
Well,
within the year before she passed.
she died as a year right after Billy did. Billy died in 91 in December, and she died in July the next year.
I thought Billy died after Daddy, but
Well, he did. He did.
Huh?
I thought he did.
Daddy died in. No, that's right. Daddy died in. Now I can't keep it straight. No, he died in '99 because my brother died in 2002. So.
I thought Billy died in 292 in 91. Then I guess.
So maybe it was 2001.
2001.
Yeah, he was 2001. Okay, that makes sense. Daddy was 99. Billy was 2001. My brother was 2002.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah. My mother was in July after that.
Okay, that makes sense.
But she did so well at Billy's funeral. She sure did.
Mm-hmm. And we were here for that, kind of accidentally, because I mean we were just out here, and he got sick. So.
I hid from you, didn't I? Yeah.
I came and found her.
You can come in if you want to.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything. They're not.
Why not?
He's about through with me.
I just want to hear. Oh, there's Billy.
Yes.
Billy.
Yeah.
Billy.
That's that friend of Becky's.
Uh-huh.
I want to tell you why I didn't send you that picture of Sarah. I lost it.
What picture?
Well, that's all right. That's all right. I won't tell you that. I have a picture, which was Mother's picture of your mother. It's 8 by 10.
Okay.
And I asked you if you wanted it.
Okay.
No, she can't.
Just say yes.
You remember me? You were at the house and I lost it, and it's in that cedar chair.
Okay, we'll find it.
I didn't lose it, but I lost it.
Lost it in the house.
I even bought one of those things from the post office to send it in.
You still got that?
Yeah.
That's all right, right?
So as soon as you find a picture, you'll lose that. So put it someplace where you can.
Yeah. I had
Mine would have
one
to
of
go to the
James.
refrigerator.
It was her pictures, and I was going to give it to Bobby and them.
Well, next year.
Well,
He doesn't remember it anyway. So.
if you didn't remember it, that's all right. You even gave me your address.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
don't remember that either.
No, I don't.
Well, it's at the house. That's her pictures. Some of her pictures.
All right. Swap places. Sit down.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
No,
Good to see
Yes.
you.
I don't know you.
Yeah, that's how you get to go.
I know nothing.
I didn't
I
know
know
if you
nothing.
knew to the last minute.
Well, we are
but,
very thankful.
They thought she thought they were going to have company.
We